Hi there! So, today we're going to be looking at the most straightforward explanation of Cloverfield yet in thematic chronological order. So, I've been seeing a lot of discussion about Cloverfield, the Cloverfield universe, or the Cloververse as some people have said, and I'm really fascinated with Cloverfield, been fascinated with Cloverfield for a long time, and I really want to make a video and really get in there, and I just thought I'd start out by making a video that kind of just explains what has happened so far, what is going on at a surface level in these movies. And I think this also will help clarify to people like what exactly is meant by the latest movie, the Cloverfield Paradox. Hopefully this video gets out before Overlord comes out. But anyways, I just want to jump right in there. I want to, sort of go down this road and explain what exactly, well, okay, not exactly, but what has happened so far. And yeah, well, let's just get into it. So we're going to start off with the Cloverfield Paradox. That might surprise some people, that might not, but it is the first movie in thematic order, and here is why. In the late 2020s, the Earth is facing an energy crisis that resulted in a lack of gasoline, a lack of, energy, but this leads to long-term power outages that can occur daily for long periods of time. Bold Futura is a research company owned by Tagerato, and they create an initiative to solve the energy crisis called the Cloverfield Initiative. This initiative comes to full force when the world is on the brink of global war and time is running out. They design, they build, and populate a space station that is fitted with a Hadron Collider known as the Shepherd that will be used to smash particles together to theoretically create an infinite source of energy. Does this by bending the fabric of space and time. Now, if you want more information on what a Hadron Collider is, because it's not really relevant, I'd recommend you go look up some video about the Large Hadron Collider, which is located at CERN. Anyways, during one of the tests, it smashes together two Higgs bosons. Higgs bosons are the particles that give the universe mass and make up the fabric of the universe. So, that causes a rift in space and time. In this moment, there are a few different things that happen. Firstly, the space station is pulled through a hole in the fabric of the universe into a parallel universe. This causes the parallel version of the space station to crash into the ocean as global war breaks out. The original station is teleported to the other side of the solar system in this parallel universe, and this causes distortions in reality due to the two universes trying to temporarily coexist. This leads to some horrifying results for the crew, and for some crew members to merge with their alternate versions. Also, some crew members from the parallel universe who weren't in one of the other universes show up on the station. As well, at the moment of the collision of these two parallel universes, the infinite power of the Shepherd punctures a hole through the entire multiverse. This hole affects every parallel version of the universe, and this is the root cause of every Cloverfield movie. This brief hole in the multiverse allows beasts such as Clover, the monster from the original movie, to pass into the Cloverfield 2008 movie universe, and for the aliens into the 10 Cloverfield Lane universe, maybe. At this point, it should be noted that each movie takes place in a separate universe, all connected by the Shepherd from the Cloverfield Paradox. Also, the rift is so powerful that the monsters, aliens, and perhaps someday demons, probably an Overlord, could have been sent to any point in time in any version of the universe. This will explain all future incarnations of the franchise. It also explains the current incarnations of the franchise. Finally, one or more full-grown Clover monsters is pulled into the world of the original Shepherd space station and begins to wreak havoc on the planet unbeknownst to the crew. The events of the Cloverfield Paradox play out, with the anomaly stopping to appear when the crew returns to the original universe after fixing the Shepherd and discovering how to create infinite energy. As you might have guessed, returning to their own universe didn't undo any of the disastrous effects, but it may have stopped more from occurring. At this point, though, the event of every other Cloverfield movie begins to play out in their respective timelines. So, while so far the Cloverfield Paradox is the latest chronologically from our point of view, it is actually the first point of contact with the Cloverfield universe. For all intents and purposes, it is the original universe of which every other Cloverfield universe is based off. you can go as far as to say that the other universes didn't even exist until the moment that the movie's events occurred, making the universe of the Cloverfield Paradox essentially Universe Zero. If we line up all the timelines of the movies, regardless of year, we would have this movie first, then all of the other movies occurring parallel to it, based on the moment when the rift in the multiverse entered the other universe. Now, while this may not be a very straightforward point, it doesn't matter because now we can observe the rest of the events in chronological order, as in which year they came out. Let's move on. We're on to the events of Cloverfield 2008. So, the Cloverfield monster at some point is brought into the universe by the rift in the multiverse. We don't know how long ago it arrived, but we do know that it's been lying dormant at the bottom of the ocean for thousands of years, according to lore provided by the ARG and associated manga, although the current state of the manga's canon is unknown. We also know that there are actually many Clover monsters, whether they're lying dormant or still unborn as eggs. That is also thanks to the manga, I believe. Eventually, the events of the movie begin to take place as Yoshida Medical, a subsidiary of Tagarato, begins researching deep-sea life under the guise of an oil company or something like that. They likely found Clover at some point, or some eggs, and began extracting samples for the research. It is also likely that they used this research to create a special ingredient for their Slusho company and its line of drinks. At some point, Tagarato accidentally wakens Clover the monster, who makes their way to New York, where the events of the movie play out as seen. It attacks the city, causes destruction and death, releases those parasite things in the streets that begin infecting and killing people, and eventually the military is able to defeat it, as confirmed by J.J. Abrams. Clover is dead at the end of the movie. In the aftermath of this event, it is not very clear what happened. Moving on, now we're on to 10 Cloverfield Lane. So at some point, the aliens are either pulled into the universe, or they're brought to Earth, or alerted to the presence of the Earth by the Shepherd's rift that is created. Not much is known about the origin of the aliens, and I don't know if that's my fault that I didn't do enough research to find out about the aliens, but really there's not much that we know about them. So they end up on Earth at some point. It should be noted that there is a bright light seen by one of the characters in 10 Cloverfield Lane, which could be the light that the Shepherd creates when it makes the rift. That's up for debate. It could also just be an alien attack. We don't know. But also on that note is that the aliens are shown to be mostly animalistic or organic, and they've not really shown to use inorganic weaponry like rockets or nukes. They do use gas, poison gas, and those little animal things, but we don't see rockets or nukes. This could add to the idea that they're pulled into the planet at the time of the bright light, because how would they survive in space if they're really organic? It is implied during 10 Cloverfield Lane by Howard Stambler, the owner of the bunker and who was a former employee of Bold Futura, that there are known to be aliens living on Mars. It's implied, we don't get confirmation, but there could be aliens already on Mars before the events of 10 Cloverfield Lane. So it could mean that they're pulled to Earth, or they came to Earth following the rift. The events of the movie play out as depicted, and the aftermath of the invasion, or whether it ever ends, is also unknown, just like with the original Cloverfield. We don't know much about what happens after the movie's end. So, in the end, the gist of what you should understand is that Cloverfield Paradox is thematically the first in the series, as it is supposed to be the root cause of all the other movies. That is quite literally the purpose of the movie. When the Shepherd is fired and it causes the rift in the universe, it is also causing the monsters and aliens to enter parallel versions of the universe, or as we discussed about 10 Cloverfield Lane, could just be causing them to show up on Earth, whatever. And to clarify further, the Cloverfield Paradox takes place in two universes, Universe 0A and the parallel version, Universe 0B. Because these ones I've classified like that because they are so similar, they're very related, they are the first two, really, that we know about thematically. And they are more or less the same universe, separated by some minor details. All the other Cloverfield properties at this point take place in their own separate universes, so Cloverfield 2008 is Universe 1, 10 Cloverfield Lane is Universe 2, and Overlord will be Universe 3. To oversimplify the situation, the Cloverfield Paradox events put monsters from many universes into many universes across space and across time and caused every other movie to happen. And that is why it is the initial movie in the Cloverfield universe, even though it takes place at the latest point in time from our perspective. So, that is the most straightforward I could get, I think, with Cloverfield, other than the oversimplified bit at the end. But this should really clarify what is going on in these movies and the timeline of these movies. And I think for anybody who is following these movies or doesn't really know what's going on or is curious, I'm sure this is going to help you, and I hope it helps you. This is really the best I could do without going into all like the ARG stuff. And if you have any comments about what you think is going on, then please lay them down in the comment section below. If you have any suggestions on what to add to the text version of this that I can share in the description, go ahead, just let me know. And if you can verify something that's wrong with this, then show it to me and I'll change the text version. But yeah, that's really all that there is to it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.